Alright, so firstly I want to start by saying thanks for the love on the first video. I know it's not the greatest, but it's a start. I mean, it's my first video, can't expect much, and so there's still a lot of things I can improve on at the same time. But yeah, so today I'm going to be taking you through my current full body split. It's a 2-day split. It's all the equipment I'm using is resistance bands. Obviously, with the current situation, corona and whatnot, equipment can be hard to get your hands on, and plus it's very expensive at the same time. So this is a 2-day full body split that's easy enough done, and the bands I'm using are pennies. I'll put a link in the description so you can go get them. But yeah, I'll firstly show you my split. Okay, so as you can see on the screen now, this is my current split. It might be a lot to get your head around in a minute, but as you can see on the left, sets and RIR. RIR means reps in reserve, so this is how many you've got in the tank till you hit failure. And as you can see on the first exercise, banded push-ups, it's got 2, 2, 1, 0. So the first 2 will be 2 reps from failure, then the third will be 1 rep from failure, and the third will be failure, obviously. Now, as you can see, going into the workouts, this is the first banded push-ups. Now we're going to need a big squeeze at the top, and pretty much normal. I mean, the band doesn't do much, but it does something there, generate extra resistance. Now with these movements, because they're all so basic, I mean, you're going to have to try and keep form as well as you can and as good as you can, because otherwise it's going to be too easy. And another thing I will say actually is I would keep your rep range between 3 and 20. Anything more than 20 or anything less than 3 is just going to be a bit pointless. I mean, I don't know what you're going to be doing for doing less than 3 reps for an exercise. I mean, well, handstand push-ups, they're quite difficult. Okay, so next exercise is going to be normal push-ups. This is a kind of a superset, and as you can see from my split, you've only got 3 sets of this, so 2 reps from failure, 1 rep from failure, and then till failure. And just again, big squeeze at the top. There's not much you can do to make these much more difficult, but as long as they're around the 20 rep range for me, that's what I'm hitting. Next we have banded rows. So again, big squeeze at the top. I mean, I've got about 3 or 4 bands. I took the green one off these bands, so I've just stood narrow, stood on the bands. I mean, it does hurt your feet a little bit, but the deal with that. And again, big squeeze at the top. Around the 20 rep range. I mean, there's not much you can do to make these harder, obviously, but you got to keep strict form. And now I will say, actually, this is a back burner, a lower back burner. So, and you keep your form as well as you can. I mean, that's why I haven't implemented RDLs in this day, because your lower back will literally just be on fire. 4 sets for this exercise, 2, 2, 1, 0. And then next we have seated leg curls, banded leg curls, right? So with this, I've just put the band through the bottom of my sofa and have my brother on the other side to hold it tight, and then put my foot through the handle, and then obviously I put a pillow below my leg actually to lift it up a bit, and so I have a further range of motion. But then yeah, both legs around the 20 mark. I mean, you feel a burn, but obviously it's not the same because I haven't got a full rate of resistance. But yeah, I've had my brother sit on the other side. You can do this with pretty much anything, a chair, anything you have in your house. Okay, so calf raises next. Very easy exercise. As you can see, I've got about a 2-inch deficit. This is just to give me a further range of motion throughout the rep. Around about 20 reps of these. Again, very high, but there's not much you can do with adding rate resistance unless you got anything around the house that you'd like to add. Next we have lateral raise. So with these, I mean, again, this is quite difficult actually with bands, you'd be surprised. But it depends how far you stand down on the actual band. So it's just going to be a good contraction, good squeeze at the top. Try to actually use your middle delt and not use your shoulder and back. As you can see, I'm quite focused on using our middle delt, trying to get the rear or front delt involved in the action. So just out wide, make sure you focus muscle my muscle connection. But around again 20 on these. I mean, everything seems to be so high rep. That's because you've got so little resistance. So yeah, next is tricep pushdowns. So, I mean, I got a funny story about this. You got to be very careful. So, the band will come with a little spot you put in between the door and this door. Unless you put your foot on the door, as you see at the end of the video now, it can become loose, and I've had an ordeal where it smacked me in the back of the head. Okay, so day 2 now. We're going to be starting with pull-ups. I've been having to use my local park for this, and as you can see that bar, it is quite thick, but it'll have to do. So 5 sets, 2, 1, 0, 0, 0. So last 3 obviously till failure. I mean, my pull-ups I didn't really start the best because I haven't been doing them a lot lately. So obviously it's a perfect time to improve them. So yeah, that's 5 sets of that, and then next we go into handstand push-ups. Now, I've modified mine a bit, so I put my legs up on, as you can see on the sofa on the side of there. Just makes it a bit easier because 4 handstand push-ups are incredibly difficult. You only get like 2 or 3 reps, and that's a bit pointless. So I get about 10 to 15 reps out of these. Banded split squat next. Now with these, I'm gonna have my one leg up on the sofa, as you can see. I'm gonna have my other one over the bands, and then I'm gonna be trying to keep as much tension on the bands as I possibly can throughout the rep to increase resistance. Now these are quite difficult, and it's quite difficult to keep your balance whilst doing the rep, so I suggest keeping your eyesight and stimulus on one certain object, one still object, because it does help you keep your balance throughout the rep. Again, 4 sets of these, 2, 2, 1, and then 1 till failure. Okay, so banded chest fly next. As I said in the previous couple of movements of the door, I make sure my foot is against the door, so make sure it doesn't open and so the bands don't come loose and have the accident like I did. But yeah, not much to say about this movement. Nice squeeze through the rep. Again, strict form, because obviously you haven't got the resistance of normal weight. Last movement of the split is going to be bicep curls. Now these are quite difficult. I usually do these in the normal gym resistance band, but as you can see, I got my shoulders pinned back and I'm stood on the band. I get about 20 reps of these. Now next after this, I'm going to be doing my little core workout, and if you haven't seen that, you can go check my previous videos at the start of the previous video. I repeat this split for 6 days, so repeat it twice and have 1 rest day. Any questions about the split, feel free to give me a DM or leave it in the comments below. But yeah, please like, subscribe, and don't forget, keep whacking.